I mean, look at this timeline in this comprehensive overview paper. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's like someone hit the fast forward button on AI development, and we're seeing this explosion of different LLMs, each with its own strengths and specialties.
And it's interesting, right? Because we're moving away from these like super technical models that only programmers could understand to ones that are much more user-friendly, like ChatGPT, for example.
Oh yeah, ChatGPT. Everyone's talking about that one these days. Is it like the poster child for LLMs or something?
I'd say it's definitely captured the public's imagination.
Yeah.
And for good reason. It's surprisingly good at writing different kinds of creative content, and it's incredibly accessible. You don't need to be a coder to use it.
It's like having Shakespeare on speed dial. Need a sonnet, boom, ChatGPT's got you covered.
Right. Though hopefully it's a bit more original than just Shakespeare on speed dial. But you see what I mean? It's powerful stuff. But it's not just these general-purpose models that are making waves. Things get really interesting when you look at the specialized LLMs popping up.
Oh, tell me more about that. What kind of specializations are we talking about?
We'll take Bloomberg GPT, for example. It's specifically designed for the finance world.
Wait, hold up. We've got LLMs writing poetry and analyzing financial markets now.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying. Bloomberg GPT can analyze market data, generate financial reports, even provide investment recommendations.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. This isn't just some cool tech demo anymore. This is serious game-changer territory.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see LLMs popping up in every industry imaginable. Healthcare, education, you name it.
It's like we're on the verge of this massive AI revolution, and most people don't even realize it's happening.
And what makes it even more interesting is that some of these LLMs are open source, meaning anyone can access and tinker with them, while others are, well, let's just say they're kept under lock and key by the tech giants.
So we've got the democratization of AI happening alongside this, like secret arms race for the most powerful LLMs. It's straight out of a sci-fi novel. But with all this talk about what LLMs can do, I'm really curious about the how. How do they actually work?
Well, to understand that, we need to take a peek under the hood and explore some of the core concepts driving these incredible language models. And trust me, it's even cooler than you might think.
All right, so we've established these LLMs are seriously impressive, but now I gotta ask, how do they actually work? What's the secret sauce that lets them understand and generate language like that?
Well, it all starts with something called the transformer architecture, which sounds way more complicated than it actually is.
Transformer architecture. Okay, I'm intrigued. But you might have to dumb it down for me a little bit.
Basically, imagine instead of reading a sentence word by word, the LLM is analyzing all the words at once, like looking at a tapestry instead of just a single thread.
Okay, so it's seeing the big picture, the relationships between all the different parts of the language.
You got it. And that's what allows it to understand context and nuance so much better than those old school language models.
So it's not just about understanding individual words, but also how those words work together to create meaning. That's pretty amazing.
Exactly. It's like, think about how you highlight important points when you're reading something. LLMs do something similar with attention mechanisms. They learn to focus on the most important parts of a text, just like your brain does naturally.
It's like they're able to cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of the matter.
Precisely. And this is how they're able to generate such human-like responses, because they're paying attention to the right things. But of course, all of this takes a ton of training.
So how do you train an LLM? Is there like an LLM school where they go to learn all this stuff?
Well, not exactly, but it's a pretty rigorous process. One of the key techniques is called masked language modeling.
Okay, masked language modeling. That sounds kind of ominous.
It's actually pretty straightforward. Imagine you're reading a sentence, but some of the words are blanked out. Your brain can probably figure out what those missing words are based on the context.
Yeah, like a fill-in-the-blanks game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what LLMs do during training. They're fed massive amounts of text with missing words, and they have to learn how to predict the missing information based on the surrounding context.
So it's like they're constantly solving language puzzles, which helps them get better and better at understanding how language works.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, not all LLMs are created equal. Just like people, they can be specialists in different areas.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about specialized LLMs earlier, like Bloomberg GPT, the one designed for finance.
Right. Bloomberg GPT is a great example of how LLMs can be tailored to specific industries and tasks. And then there's Codex, which is changing the game for programmers.
Codex, the one that helps you write code. I've heard whispers about this one.
Yep, that's the one. Codex is the technology behind tools like GitHub Copilot. It can actually generate computer code based on natural language descriptions, which is basically like magic.
That's insane. So if I wanted to create an app, I could just describe what I wanted it to do, and Codex would just, like, build it for me.
Well, it's not quite that simple yet, but you're getting the idea. And then there are LLMs like Galactica, which was trained on a massive data set of scientific research.
Oh, yeah, Galactica. I remember hearing about that. It's like having access to the entire history of scientific knowledge at your fingertips, right?
That's the idea. Imagine being able to ask Galactica any scientific question and getting an answer based on the most up-to-date research. The possibilities are really mind-blowing.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. This is all starting to feel a little overwhelming. In a good way, of course. LLMs are clearly already having a huge impact, but where do we go from here? What does the future hold for this technology?
Well, buckle up, because the future of LLMs is looking even more incredible than what we've seen so far. And we'll dive into all of that right after the break.
So we've talked about the present. Now let's get really futuristic. What's coming next in the world of LLMs?
Well, up until now, we've mainly been talking about text, right? But the future of LLMs is about going beyond language.
Beyond language. Okay, now you've got my attention. What does that even mean?
Think multimodal. Imagine LLMs that can understand not just text, but images, videos, even sounds.
Hold on. Are you saying we're going to have AIs that can watch a movie and understand the plot, or listen to a song and feel the emotions behind the music?
You got it. We're talking about LLMs that can process and understand information from multiple sources, just like humans do.
Okay, I can see where this is going, and it's both amazing and a little bit terrifying at the same time. What kind of real-world impact are we talking about here?
Well, think about something like a search engine. Right now, you type in some keywords and it spits out a bunch of links. Yeah. But imagine a search engine that actually understands what you're looking for, even if you don't know the right words to describe it. You'd show it a picture, hum a tune, and it would instantly connect you with the information you need.
It's like giving LLMs senses, letting them experience the world in a much richer way.
Precisely. And this opens up a world of possibilities. Imagine a medical AI that can analyze your symptoms, your medical history, even your genetic information to provide personalized treatment recommendations.
Okay, now we're talking about some serious next-level stuff. It's like something out of Star Trek.
And that's just the beginning. We're also going to see the rise of what we call LLM-powered agents.
Agents! I'm not sure I like the sound of that. Sounds a bit too much like something out of the Matrix.
Think of it more like, imagine having a digital assistant that's actually intelligent. Not just responding to commands, but proactively anticipating your needs, learning your preferences, and helping you manage your life in a way that feels truly seamless.
So basically, like having a super smart personal assistant who actually knows what you want before you even ask.
Exactly. Your LLM agent could manage your schedule, book your travel, even handle your finances, all while constantly learning and adapting to your unique needs and goals.
That's incredible, though I'm not sure I'm quite ready to hand over my bank account to an AI just yet.
Well, that's understandable. We're still in the early stages here. But the point is, LLMs have the potential to fundamentally change the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us.
It's both exciting and a little bit daunting, to be honest. It feels like we're standing at the edge of this incredible new frontier, and we're just beginning to glimpse what's possible.
And that's what makes this whole field so fascinating. It's a time of incredible innovation, and who knows what the future holds. But one thing's for sure, LLMs are going to be a big part of it.
I couldn't agree more. Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of large language models. Hopefully, you're leaving today feeling just as energized and maybe even a little mind-blown as I am. It's been quite a journey. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and who knows what amazing discoveries we'll uncover together.